Talk Stream. Hello all. How's it going, everybody? Resi Orenji here. Welcome everybody who's in chat. Harbinger and Official. Pleased to meet you. I don't think I've seen you in my chat before. Hello, welcome to the stream, everybody. Ooh, how has y'all's weeks been? I've just been kind of working as usual, continuing to chip away at the glam metal deep dive. I did a bunch of VO last night for it, which I should be at this point halfway through recording all that stuff. So I am aiming to have that all done by next week. We'll see how that all goes. But the glam metal deep dive, it should be on track for a September release. My fingers crossed. I'm trying to get it out to y'all as soon as I can. But anyways, welcome to the music talk stream, where I like to shoot the shit with all y'all in chat, what I've been listening to recently, and also talk with, cool VTubers who do cool music things. I'm, pleased to bring another guest that I'm sort of meeting for the first time here today. I've been palling around with Teji and Brime and those guys and CJ, and it seems they all have this sort of chill network of other sort of musically minded VTubers. And among them is this dude here that I've got today, my guest for tonight. Would you all please welcome BLXCK?
Hey, yo.
How's it going,
Hey,
man?
yo.
Welcome to the stream.
What up, man?
So, I usually like to start these streams, sort of, opening the floor to the guests in talking about, how they became, passionate, in a sense, for music, right? Because, it's one thing to get into music, I guess, to listen to it on the side casually, to have, a bunch of tunes loaded up on an iPod, but, to pursue music as a passion, to make it, to produce it, that's something else entirely. So I guess, how did you start off?
I mean, first, my music taste kind of stemmed from early 2000s, because that's all my dad would listen to. Early 2000s emo music, like System of a Down.
Oh, nice.
Enter Shikari, all that type of stuff. So that kind of made me fall in love with, rock and, metal and all that.
Welcome, Anne-Marie, Francis, and Maybe May. Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, what up, Maeve? How you been? It's not like I totally saw you earlier. But I didn't really get into music until 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah? That's fair. What have you... Sorry, go ahead.
I saw many people producing music on TikTok and all that. I'm like, wait, can I do that? And then
shit.
How I got into it.
I didn't even know there was such a culture of music production on TikTok like that. I mean, I don't profess to use TikTok in the first place, so. But at the same time, it's cool that that was able to motivate you to dive headfirst into that. So how was that process for you? Just sort of following all these tutorials, learning from everybody who's done this shit before. How was that?
I mean, at first, I was really into doing my own vocals because I was practicing how to metal scream at the time.
Oh,
so
nice.
I was learning on Audacity.
Mm-hmm.
Learned that that's not the way to go. Then I moved to Adobe Audition, which, if you know what that is, don't use it.
Oh my gosh.
Horrible program to use. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me just use FL Studio. And that
nice.
Turned out great. I learned so much just by using it from experience.
Yeah, I've heard good things about FL Studio. I use Reaper personally whenever I do covers or any sort of vocal recordings for when I do covers on my channel. It's serviceable, but I don't profess to be an expert in production in any respect. So I always have a respect for people who are able to sort of take that talent and continue to develop it. I just find it so intimidating, to have stuff like EQ that you always have to personally attenuate and be, listening to tracks incessantly, trying to get the right tune, It's crazy.
My main issue beginning, like starting out, was muddy mixes.
Oh yeah.
Because my old beats, I didn't know what equalization was, so I never EQ'd them.
Oh
So
yeah.
we got too muddy mixes, too little high end. It was a mess. And then I learned, hey, there's this thing called EQ. Maybe you should use it. So yeah.
Yeah. Now EQ's a bitch. Like there's so many ways to do it, and I think I actually took a production course one time when I was in college. And we learned, a bit about how to, use EQ, how to apply it, and how to sort of, account for all those frequencies that, either muddle up or like make things too bright in a sound. And God, I think I still have my notes from that class somewhere, but I've long since forgotten all of that. Welcome, Brime. Good to see you, my guy.
What up, Brime? FL gang, yeah.
Man, the only thing I know about Fruity Loops is that it's a really good beat program. Is that I don't know how good is it for that?
Now, fun fact, I don't know what that is. I just kind of put audio in the program and make something.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I don't know.
I just got into using Serum. I just got into using it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really know too much about DAWs other than Reaper, to be honest. Like, I have used Audacity in the past. I remember one time trying to, this was like way back in the past before I became a VTuber. I tried to make this vaporwave song out of like an old Earth, Wind, and Fire tune. Just tried to slow things down in Audacity and de-pitch, add reverb and stuff. It was pretty damn hard, but I made something of it. Nothing that I ever released, mercifully.
Yeah, I have thousands of beats and like vocals that I just never released. I'll go back to it. I'm like, why did I do that?
Hey, you never know where inspiration will come from, right? Maybe someday you'll look back on one of those and be like, oh, that's something that can go in my idea here,
Oh yeah, that's how I came up with my like vocal style, where like I looked at your description. It says I'm kind of like Corpse. I saw that. I saw that. But yeah. I kind of, when I first started, I did a slowed down version of like a metal scream.
Oh yeah.
To try to get a rasp. I'm like, wait, if I tweak it a little bit, add a little bit of a whisper undertone, and we get what my vocal style is now.
Yeah.
Which happens to sound like Corpse. Okay, I will admit.
I'm not accusing you of anything. It's just I understand the VTuber meta. The CorpseHusband Hex Haywire type is very popular with the ladies. Oh my gosh. But yeah, about your deep voice, like how have you just sort of had that since puberty? Like, are you a basso profundo or anything like that? Have you I don't know, are you classically trained or anything, or do you just have a really deep voice?
I mean, I don't know. It just kind of happened, I guess.
That's fair.
I've had it since sophomore year of high school, I would say.
Yeah.
And I'm not classically trained. I mean, I wouldn't say I am because I've only been doing vocal lessons for like a month or two. Yeah.
Okay, that's neat that you're doing vocal lessons. I remember taking those in college myself. I don't know. I love singing, personally, as casually, I love whenever I'm writing something or in the shower or whatever, just sort of singing to myself. But professionally, I don't know. I feel like I love taking drumming a bit more seriously than singing, if anything. Like, I find myself to be more of a rhythmically minded guy than, trying to concentrate on sounding like a great singer,
Yeah, like, the main reason why I started vocal training is because I wanted to learn how to hit higher notes.
Oh,
so
nice.
I have two little snippets that I'm gonna send you here in a second.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because like, even though I have a deep voice, I can kind of like get up there.
Oh, nice.
Like, you
Yeah,
know what Mephisto is?
Do I know what?
Mephisto by Queen Bee, the ending song of Oshinoko.
Nah, I don't believe so.
Oh, you're in for a real treat.
I don't know if I can really play the audio on stream without listening, but I'll definitely take a listen.
Yeah.
Later. It's neat though. I have a lot of respect for people who have like, a lot of control over their lower register. I mean, I used to be more of like the tenor 2 type, and like try to explore a bit more of my higher register. I do have some good lows here or there, but like I don't know. I can't really get too guttural down there without it being out of tune,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty hard for me to do it too, because in reality, my voice isn't that deep as people think it is. It's just my microphone. To be completely honest. Yeah.
Hey, effects take you the rest of the way there. If that's how you get it, that's that's fine.
Yeah, because my mic likes to accentuate the low end a lot, so it makes it sound like it's deep when it's not.
That's cool. What sort of mic do you use?
I use the it's like the toddler version of the M7. What is it? M7X maybe? Let me check.
Oh, cool.
MV7 maybe. Yeah, the MV7.
To be fair, I don't really know too much about microphones myself. Like, I use a Blue Yeti personally that's just sort of like hooked up to a microphone arm inside of my desk, and it works fine enough for me. But I remember looking at going to a Guitar Center recently and testing out like the mics they had. There was this one like podcasting mic that had like the black felt on the end of it. Oh my gosh, that thing sounded like a dream. Like, if I get enough money doing this, I definitely want to upgrade to that.
Oh, for sure. I go to Guitar Center on the weekends sometimes just to look at it, because I love that place.
Oh my god, Guitar Center is such an addicting place to walk around in. Like, I'm not even a guitarist, and I love just seeing like all the fucking cool guitars they have on display.
I just bought one a month ago.
Oh, nice. What kind?
It's an electric Ibanez. Nice hint of gray, and the back of it, the color matches my acoustic.
Oh,
so
very
nice. Happy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure my chat's sick of me saying this by this point, but I've tried like 3 times at this point to get into playing the guitar, but I've just never had really the energy or the patience to sit down and practice it on my own. I'm far more of a rhythmically minded guy in that I'm able to more easily understand and commit to practicing like how to play rhythms and all that stuff, but like sitting down and like learning scales and practicing scales and learning how to coordinate what you're doing with your pick hand, with your fret hand, it's all too much for me.
Oh, I'm right there with you. I'm self-taught. I know that feeling.
Yeah. I mean, definitely keep and that's not to discourage you or anything. God, do not take from my example. I'm a lazy orange cat boy by nature. But definitely keep at it, and I'm sure there's so many resources that we have at our fingertips nowadays with self-taught musicians. YouTube is a godsend when it comes to like being able to look up tutorials for how to play shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's how I learned how to mix and master and all that. YouTube came in clutch. I'm just saying.
There's this like one drum channel that I was subbed to at some point. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Imagine if he pulls up Wyatt Stab. Imagine. Imagine.
It was like fucking Yeah, I don't know, but it's like one of those channels that was like how to play X in like X minutes or something like that, and it would have like, you know, some cool complex rock music, but also some of the most basic like ass beats at like it was teaching people how to play like fucking Nickelback and some shit, right?
Hot crossbones. Hot crossbones.
Oh my god. Summoning Satan with Haas crust buns out of the recorder circle in the 3rd grade.
Imagine.
Those were the days learning recorder, though. That was the only wind instrument that I've ever touched.
The state I lived in when I went to elementary school, they didn't do that.
Oh, no?
I never had the core memory of using a recorder.
I
don't even know what that was until I moved to the state I was in for like middle school and stuff. Yeah, everyone was talking about it too. They're like, "Oh yeah, in like elementary we learned the recorder." I'm like, "Oh, we learned how to use boom whackers."
Well, hey, that's still fun.
And we sang a song about Kwanzaa or some shit. It was weird.
Neat. Now I was in what was it? I did high school choir, jazz band, chamber choir, I think concert bands one year. Yeah, I was pretty well involved in my school's music programs. It was fun, I guess. Well, I mean, I think it was like I started off actually playing violin, right? Because my school was kind of new, and they needed to conscript kids into like their choirs, their orchestras, or whatever. So I picked up a rental violin that I never practiced on, and I kind of brute forced it for 5 years, from like 3rd to 8th grade or whatever it was, and by the time at the end of it, I was just like, nah, I don't really want to do this. So I started singing, and that's how I got into choirs. And then, you know, I played Rock Band and Guitar Hero back in the day. Loved those fucking games. And that's how I got into playing the drums. And so everything just sort of spiraled from there.
Or you play the violin.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust myself to do anything with a violin nowadays. Like, you put it in front of me, like, especially, oh my god, Jesus Christ. I remember, like, the violins usually, when you're starting off with it, right, they put, like, tape or whatever on the neck so you know where to put your fingers, right, to get, like, a good sounding note out of it. I never had the tape taken off. So if you hand me a violin with like no tape whatsoever, I'm going to produce some of the ugliest ass notes you've ever heard come out of a violin.
Oh no, no way.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's cool though. I remember I love the sound of violins. I remember singing in a what was it? A Renaissance-inspired sort of choir, and they had these old instruments called viola da gamba, viols, viols. I mean, I don't know if I don't know how familiar you are with the history of stringed instruments, but like basically, like those instruments are like predecessors to our modern orchestra, and it's really cool getting to see people who are really good with that stuff just like replicate those sounds. I was just in the choir, so I didn't know. I didn't really have that hands-on experience. I was just the witness to it.
For choir, did they ever have you do the Bumblebee warm up?
I don't think I'm familiar with that one. No.
Yeah, it's so you gotta look it up. It's because I was in theater, so I would hear all the actors doing it.
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, I did theater too. Actually, you know, I was in high school theater. Did like one semester of it in college before I realized that I wanted to focus my life more on music.
Yeah. That's how it happened. That's how it happens.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? The college I went to was very much a theater-focused college, so like there was a lot of people going hard on the auditions, and I thought myself to be a pretty talented guy, but you know, when I got into the choir for my first ever, you know, stage play there, I was just kind of like, yeah, okay, these people are operating at another level.
I could not keep up with the actors. I'm just saying, I could not.
Oh yeah. Were you like in that situation where it was like your high school needed like men in the ensemble or in the or in the lead roles, and they just sort of conscripted you?
Yeah, what happened was, so I'm usually the marketing manager, and I'm the lead photographer. So I'm like taking
Okay.
photos of the performances.
Mm.
But one of the ensemble members broke their leg, and they're like, "Hey, I know you're taking pictures, but do you mind hopping in here real quick?" I'm like,
Oh
"Okay,
no.
what?" It was just for like a single scene. That's why
That's
they
funny.
didn't mind. So I was like, "Okay, bet, let's do it."
Welcome, Jukebox Cowboy. How's it going, man? Yeehaw. So yeah, I guess sort of leading on from that, I guess like, what are your favorite genres, bands, artists? Because you have a really like glitchy, dark sound. Like, what's that? Where does that come from?
Um, so I don't know when it happened, but I started getting into like the dark rap, dark trap genre.
Oh, neat.
And like a buddy of mine, Omen Emo. How this
Mm-hmm.
happened was, it was like Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going to a frat party for Halloween, and that's where the concept of blackjack came from. By the way, it was a
Oh,
Halloween
neat.
costume I wore. But then I was like shuffling through Spotify playlist, and Omen Emo's song came on. I'm like, damn, this is kind of good. It was roleplay,
Mm-hmm.
and I started looking into him. I'm like, damn, wait, this sound is kind of cool. So I tried recreating it, failed horribly, and now here we are. And I reached out to him to see if I could play one of his songs on my stream because he's independent.
Oh,
And
neat.
we became buddies after that and collabed on Lethal Company. So that was
Very
fun.
cool. Hope you're doing well. Yes, I am. I'm having a great conversation here with Blackjack. Yeah, that's really cool, though. Getting to collab with somebody out of the blue like that. I'm not really that knowledgeable, admittedly, with dark trap or even trap music in general, but it is a very cool aesthetic and vibe. You know, like, how long does it sort of take for a song like that to come together? Do you just like have a beat and go off of that, or?
I mean, for me, because I'm not that good at making music, I would
Yeah.
say it takes me about 2 days to make the beat, just
Mm,
to make sure the mixing and mastering's right, and then
right.
like a day for vocals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So 3 days.
Me, you know, whenever I try to write something, I usually have like an earworm of an idea sort of bouncing around in my head for however long. It's just like, I haven't had the drive really to pick up GarageBand and demo anything. I used to do that quite frequently back in the day, but I don't know, ever since the pandemic hit and everything, I've just had less motivation to directly put things to tape, if that makes sense. I still have ideas all the time. It's just like...
Oh yeah, I forgot about that, Brime. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
The
So,
spider metal beat. I think Brime actually did message me about that.
no way. No way.
Yeah.
Okay, so
if you
the
explain.
context is my friend Ori saw a spider and filmed herself
yeah.
screaming at it. And I'm like, let me make a metal beat to this. So I practiced like my guitar riff, and then I made like a drum pattern, so simple. And then Brime added sick ass guitar riffs to it too. It was fire.
Nice. I wish I had the drive to sort of put things down like that and like jump on like a creative endeavor like that. Cause like timing really is of the essence there. Like, time is money, and like the sooner that you can jump on something like that, like the sooner you can pop off. Like, oh my god, like that fucking contest, I think it was Metro Boomin put up of the BBL Drizzy beat, like how many fucking independent rappers jumped on that shit like first day? That was insane to see.
Thousands. It had to have been thousands.
Don't like Jack B. Too Modest Bro is actually really talented. It seems like that, you know. He's definitely got the voice for it, and you know, I've heard his music. I do, you know, even if you are pretty early along in your production career, you're definitely more skilled at it than I am at this point.
Thank you so much. I have Harbinger to actually give thanks to because he introduced me to something called Soft Clipper.
Oh yeah,
and it like changed it for me because my mixes were really like quiet, and when I added Soft Clipper, perfect, just amazing.
What is that program?
So in FL Studio, they have a plugin called Soft Clipper. I don't know how it works. It just takes the high parts, like the peaks, the transients.
Oh yeah.
And they kind of like lower them to where they don't clip, but still can be loud.
Oh,
and
nice.
Then if you do it right, it makes the whole. If you put it on the master, it makes the whole beat just louder.
Very
That's
nice.
basically what it is. It's like a type of distortion, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I need to I need to figure out more about how to fix the clipping with my tracks, because you know, as much as I try to minimize any distortions that I don't want or anything like that, like I'm still very much amateur. I still do get clippings here or there with my vocals. You know, especially recently, I did a cover of Led Zeppelin's "Thank You," and trying to get like, because you know Rob Plant, you know, from Led Zeppelin, he's a shrieker or whatever. To try and replicate like those sorts of high notes at the end of the song, it took me a few takes to really get a good, you know, take there where I wasn't like blowing out the mic.
Oh yeah, Jukebox is right. So Soft Clipper is like a part of a limiter. It's an aspect of a limiter, basically. Yeah.
Neat.
And then to go into my process, because I know you mentioned it earlier about like how long does it take.
Yeah.
So to break it down, I start with a melody, something very, very simple, and then I add more elements to the melody.
Right.
Always add a reverb, and always EQ it before continuing. I EQ every element right before I do the arrangement. After that, I come up with a drum pattern. Then I add the snare, hi-hat, and then we get to the 808s, which are seasoning, top tier. And there you go, you got a beat.
There you go.
Alright, and to answer your other question, my all-time favorite artist is Halog. He's an independent artist, amazing with lyrics, and he produces his own stuff.
Oh yeah,
actually,
I think, what was it?
The synth he used. Oh, what did he do?
You did have what was it? A reaction video on your channel, right? Where you did a reaction stream to his stuff. Is that right?
Yep. Yes, I did.
Resi demo tape coming soon. So I would love to make original music and stuff. You know, I've written songs in the past for, you know, my bands and what have you. I just don't. I'm too lazy when it comes to producing my own music. I definitely need to offload some of that work onto other people. Oh my god. I can play a hella sick beat though. I tell you what, you know, I know how to play the drums. That's my wheelhouse.
Oh man, okay.
Ugh. So
yeah,
like,
the synth Halo used in his song Flare, I recreated it and put it in the beat that I sent you earlier.
Oh, very neat. Okay, yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
So you have like a few covers on your channel, is that right?
I only have one so far, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember, what was it? I was looking at your Spotify last night. You have 3 songs on there already. I mean, I don't know exactly. I think one of them's original, one's a cover, and then one's a collab, is that right?
Oh yeah, with Remember Me.
Oh, neat.
That guy.
Yeah, that one was pretty cool, hearing like all y'all come together on that.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun making the lyrics for it. It was... I'm pretty sure he's not gonna hear this. So we made a mutual agreement that we can basically do lyrics for anything. And so what I decided to do was make a roast for each one of us. So like the lyrics are fake face, no faith. Shoot, I forgot my own lyrics.
Yeah.
Fake
No, I was.
face,
I remember hearing that. It reminded me a lot of. Oh my god! Like, what is that? I don't know if you're familiar with like the soundtrack to the Shadow the Hedgehog video game at all, but there's like there's like Almost Dead, you know, like
Yeah.
yeah. But it's cool. It's a vibe, you know. I like what was it? What was that cover you did?
Damare by Shimon, which is he's a big inspiration for why I produce music. Like you can hear his elements in my song.
Oh, okay. Is he also a very like dart trappy sort of artist?
Yeah, it's like I don't know how to describe it. It's like J-pop but dark. That's where I get the glitchy element from.
Yeah. That's interesting. You know, I love the sort of versatility of J-pop, where even like idol industries are at the top of like the big name pop stars in Japan. You still have people going out there and being like these dark, wicked, or rocking these dark, wicked aesthetics. At least, you know. You could write a whole bunch of shit about baby metal, and people already have, but I feel like there's so many other things that go under discussed here in the West.
What you know about baby metal? What you know about them?
Not that much. I mean, other than that, they once collaborated with Kiss, and that you know, I mean, they collaborate with a lot of Western metal musicians. I remember they did like I think they did a thing with Rob Halford once, Judas Priest.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite song by Baby Metal is Megitsune. You gotta hear it. It's one day, just open Spotify or whatever and just listen to it. It's amazing.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot about J-pop that I really gotta wisen up to. I'm more familiar with like stuff from the 80s, if anything, you know, city pop era and like all that.
City pop.
Yeah, that's
what you know about
jam.
Broken Side. What you know about Broken Side.
Oh my god, Broken Side. Fucking hell. I mean, I remember hearing Freaks once, and
oh god.
I don't know. It's funny actually you mentioned Broken Side. I once had it as a donation incentive for a charity stream that I hosted. Like, if the max incentive was met, then I would do a discography ranking stream for Broken Side, right? I would listen to all their albums and try to give a fair assessment. Unfortunately, or fortunately for me, we didn't hit that max goal, but oh my god, that is something looming in the back of my mind in terms of, you know, some content to milk for this channel.
I mean, at least you never heard of Blood on the Dance Floor. That band is pretty interesting.
I mean, I've heard of Blood in the Dance Floor. I've heard of fucking Falling in Reverse and all those fucking
oh no,
those garbage bands. But thankfully, I just sort of put them to the side. I never really give their music much regard, honestly.
Yeah, I haven't been listening to like that side of music in a while. I've only been like listening to like J-pop and like trap. That's pretty much it.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a shame, honestly, like, because there is legitimately good post-hardcore, mathcore stuff, emo stuff out nowadays, like in the underground. It just gets overshadowed by like all the other, you know, bullshit bands with people who grew minors, you know? It's
DX2.
It's tragic.
I know, right? That's been like a thing for like this past year, huh? Like just allegations all over the place.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you gotta look for the gems in the rough, you know. There are always bands out there that are still making music that's worth listening to, especially like, I mean, coming out of the queercore scene. Like, oh my god, like some of the cool artists out of there. That's awesome.
Interesting. Bro, JoJo Siwa low-key killing it. I'm not gonna lie.
No. Oh my god. Fucking JoJo.
Karma is a what?
You know, I will say this. At least, Gene Simmons did defend her for, her use of the very similar demon pattern makeup. Yeah. But I do not have to agree with Gene Simmons. I often have not on this channel. But yeah, do you have any songs that you still want to cover in the future?
Oh, definitely, Strange by Shimon. One day I'm gonna get to Unravel. One day I'm gonna do Unravel.
Oh my gosh. The classic VTuber karaoke stuff. Go Unravel, and next thing you know, you'll be doing a cover of King.
Oh god. But that's what kind of got me into VTubing, actually.
Oh yeah.
So there was a VTuber named BLXCK. They did a cover of To the Hellfire by Lorna Shore.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
like, wait, VTubers are doing this? I'm like, let me do this real quick, and that's where one of the clips comes from.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's I love like seeing what sort of music that VTubers get up to doing. I mean, I started off very much, in that vein of being into my own sort of music. Like, I love metal, I love psychedelic rock, I love, stuff that goes really hard with very fuzzy guitars. And there was a VTuber, there's an indie VTuber that I met in my early days, Noriboshi Ariel. I don't know how familiar you are with her, but she's really good when it comes to like producing stuff and arranging stuff in the way of like thrash metal, speed metal, power metal, anything like that. I love seeing VTubers that are able to bring in more influences into, VTuber music, other than just like J-pop or anything like. Because like nothing wrong with J-pop or anything like that. No offense to J-pop musicians or idols or anybody like that, but it's nice to see like the potential of what we can be as musicians expand as VTubing grows as a medium.
No, for sure, yeah. I mean, like, I'm low-key glad they're bringing more like genres into the space, instead of like the industrialized, commercialized type of stuff that we always listen to.
Yeah, like you're hearing all of these VTubers now and agencies like doing screamo stuff and like fucking Hollow Stars, like with Haka, like they're fucking killing it on that front.
For real.
My god. Yeah, kind of along those lines, actually. I was wondering if, like, you had any, like, dream collabs or anything, like, either with VTubers or, like, other musicians or anything.
Oh, yeah, I have, like, the big three. But it's embarrassing that I forgot their name. Let me find them real quick.
It's all good.
I know one of them is Zephyrina. The other one's BLXCK. I forgot the last one, but they're really cool. I'll find it. Circle an F.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. Oh, if I go to my Spotify, I can find it.
I mean, I personally, it's funny actually. I don't know how much thought I've given to this question in the past. I mean, I definitely want to keep working with, my friend Nori that I mentioned earlier. But like, if I were to work with an actual like agency VTuber, a big name VTuber, I don't know. I guess the one that most immediately comes to my mind is like Ren Zoto. Like he seems like a very chill sort of guy with like his bass and like his voice and all that stuff. I feel like we could really do something cool.
Oh, I found the third one. Furukuchi Mana. They're really good. Oh yeah. They're one of like the first people who did metal in like the anime space.
Oh, neat. I don't think I'm that familiar. Are they with an agency?
I'm not quite sure. I haven't been keeping up with the agency stuff in a while. I'm not gonna lie.
No, that's fair. I mean, if I'm being honest, I've kind of slowed down my VTuber habits in the past few months myself. I mean, I still do check in time to time with indies and other like smaller agency VTubers, but it feels like there's been a lot of shit happening such where we're kind of in an era of transition in the VTuber space. You know what I mean?
Take me out to the ball game. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I saw that on TikTok. I was going crazy. I'm like, wait a minute.
That's insane. Like having like big name VTubers out there in like stadiums singing ball game shit.
For real.
Yeah. Just imagine like actually kind of along those lines, I'm still sort of debating with myself on whether or not I'll go to like there's a Hololive concert literally happening like a walk away from my house. And like it's at this gorgeous theater. I don't know if you've ever heard of like the King's Theater before, but like if you look up pictures of it, it has got this gorgeous like old like 19th century styled interior, and
I'm looking at it. Oh my god.
Yeah, I am really tempted to go there to see not just the theater itself, but like see the spectacle of a Hololive concert and like maybe grab a pen light or whatever. I've never had that experience. It'd be cool to do that, but I don't know. There's a lot that's going on this month. Like fucking, I don't know if you're familiar with King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard at all. They're coming to New York, and I've got tickets for both their nights in Forest Hill Stadium, and I'm really looking forward to that. But
insane.
Yeah.
I went to Rockville a couple months ago and saw a couple like bands like Bad Omens and like Sim and all of that.
Oh, nice. Cool. Nice. Do you have any like cool concert memories like that?
Oh yeah, actually at Rockville actually. So Sim, they're the people who made like the rumbling for Attack on Titan. Oh, and there was a guy just standing in the middle of like a big mosh pit. It was just him. And he was dressed up as Eren Yeager.
Oh my god.
They were doing the Wall of Death, and you could just see it closing on him. It was amazing. I gotta send you that video when I get it. It's so funny.
Oh yeah, that sounds cool. Admittedly, I don't, I haven't followed Attack on Titan since like the anime came back like the first time, but yeah, no, it's that sounds fucking awesome though. I remember like going to like my first fucking King Gizzard show like 5 years back. Was it 5 years back? It was like more like 6 years at this point. And they were playing Union Transfer in Philadelphia or whatever. I remember getting there early and like getting right up there to the rail, trying to hold my place or something. And as soon as King Gizzard started, oh my god, like the fucking mosh pit was like bumping, like sort of grinding up me against the rail, and it was insane, the energy that was going on there.
Oh, interesting.
Love a good mosh pit.
When I lived in New Jersey, because I'm from there, when I recently moved, when I lived there, I would have to drive, because I would have to drive to either New York or Philadelphia, because where I was, it's not a big like state, and I was in a pretty small town. There was like no one there. There was no one there.
Jersey's a really interesting place. It's basically the servicing stop for New Yorkers and Philadelphians, but it's also it's got some cool places in its own right.
No, I lived in like Gotham City. Like like Atlantic City was like the armpit of New Jersey.
Oh no, you're not gonna I'm not gonna argue with you there. I fucking hate Atlantic City.
Casinos, crackheads, you name it, they're there.
I'm from the Philadelphia area, so yeah, I've had a few vacations down there. I'm well aware.
All right, then here's a good question. Yankees or Phillies?
It's funny. My parents were super into baseball. I've never really kind of been a baseball head myself, but I'm gonna go Phillies.
And what about the Eagles? What do you think about them?
I love Jason Kelsey. I think he's a fucking great guy. I don't know, I don't follow football all that well. Go Eagles, though, I guess. Go Birds.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm I'm getting more into basketball recently. Basketball's been like a sport that I've been like getting super into.
Oh shit.
It's like I did this video essay recently on the history of Boston, you know, More Than a Feeling and all that stuff. And it's funny reading up on how Tom Scholes, the leader, used to get distracted by, you know, following the Celtics in the 80s with like Larry Bird and all that, because I find myself in the exact same position now, kind of with the Celtics, but also just with all the other cool fucking players we have in the league now. Just like, I could spend some time tonight recording, or I could watch, you know, U.S. Olympics men's baseball and fucking stare in awe, you know? It is a problem. Do you mind if I go get some water real quick? I just noticed that I've run out.
Oh no, you're good. I need a water break too. Just give me like 5 seconds. I'll be right back.
Back.
My covers go hard. What are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about, man. Oh my god. A cup of water. Okay, that's cool. Maeve, you don't know what you're talking about. My covers do not go hard. Harbinger, why are you taking their side? Nuh-uh. I guess. I was not able to look at the chat. Okay, leave me alone. I'm entranced by this violin player over here. Bro's really cool. I'm not gonna lie. I mess with him. I mess with him. His covers do it. I know exactly what. You don't know what you're talking about. Need I bring up a certain cover you did? Certain covers actually that you did, Maeve. Need I bring them up? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We don't talk about them. We don't talk about them. Shut you. Shut you. Who's you? Oh no. Oh, I got a voicemail. Oh, what's from them? They're not spoken of, yeah. I don't know. It's getting really tempting to just bring it up real quick. I'm kidding. You're good. You're good. We never talk about him again. But you have a really good singing voice. I'm not gonna lie. Like, babe, your voice, top tier, peak, S tier, no, Z tier, yeah. Don't you lie. No, you don't be modest. You don't be modest now. Wait a minute. Wait a hot cross-bun minute. Your voice is amazing. Who told you that you have a bad singing voice? Who told you? I will find them, I think. Oh no, wait. I can't, here, let's find it right here. I don't know. Oh, a new one for me? Oh, bet, send it over. Send it over right now. I couldn't see it because there's like a heart on the bottom right of the chat that I'm looking at. It's like blocking it. So I'm just looking. But you got a new one? Send it over and I will mix and master it for you. Welcome back. You've turned into a glass of water.
Yes, whenever I leave, I turn into a sentient glass of water. It's my shorthand. I guess saying be right back. I guess, where do we go next? Do you have any, I guess, Ori songs planned for or original songs planned for the
Oh, I
future?
thought you were talking about like my friend Ori. I was like, wait a minute, what?
No, I mean, I get that's just sort of the colloquial term I've heard thrown around in the VTuber space, Ori songs or whatever for original songs, but yeah, I mean, do you have anything like that planned? I know you have, like, your first track was sort of your own experiment, and that was neat, but do you have, like, EPs or albums worth of songs even in store?
So I don't have an album yet. I mean, I'm just working on a song right now. I'm gonna collab with my friend Ori, actually. That's so funny that you mentioned Ori. Yeah.
Oh, there's your Ori song right there.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I can't wait for that. And then, based on if I like how it turns out, because in music, some things don't turn out the way they want to. If I enjoy the track enough, then there we go. I got like 5 more songs planned.
Nice. Yeah, it's always a struggle, I feel like, in the VTuber space, trying to put together your own albums. I mean, for people who, have the skills and talents to arrange it all themselves, like, that's one thing. But, like, in my case, in my situation, where I'm the only one who knows really how to play, I guess, how to say, I only really know how to do the instrument part of things. I don't really know the production angle of things. I've got, like, so many other things that I need to consider before I start releasing my own original music.
Yeah, and then I have a collaboration that I'm doing. It's not really original, which is why I didn't bring it up.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Brime, Ori, and a couple other streamers, and I, of course, are working on a cover of Shawnee. If you've never heard of it, it's a really sick song. So I'm mixing and mastering that, but I'm still waiting on some vocals, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. That's where that's going.
Nice. I definitely want to participate in more music collabs in the future. I just, I feel like I'm sort of in my own sort of solitary space in the VTuber scene. Like, I like using Discord. Not Discord. I like using Twitter sometimes. Discord only on occasion. Like, I'm not really a member in many Discord servers, I guess.
No, I feel that. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a very awkward situation to be a VTuber. I mean, God, I feel like this is describing most VTubers, but to be a VTuber and an introvert at the same time, it's just like it's its own.
Oh no, I'm introverted too.
Yeah, it's its own sort of hell, and like reaching out and finding people to collab with.
I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. I actually don't really know. I mean, I'm an introvert, but I'm pretty good at faking being extroverted.
I mean,
I'm pretty nice.
I felt that way to an extent, like back when I was in college. Actually, in the prime of in college, like hanging out with the friend group I had there, and like going, everything being easily accessible in like a few blocks walk. That helped a lot with like my sort of social confidence, of my external confidence or whatever, but I don't know, you sort of like you sit behind a screen and it feels like there's like an infinite amount of possibilities on that other side,
Yeah. Now, I'm still in college. I don't know if it's just like a generational thing or maybe it's just where I am. But how often would you go to social gatherings when you were in college?
Pretty decently, I'd say. I mean, I was in a few different, I was in a social frat. Not a social frat, I was in like a service frat, and I was in like a few other different groups, but, otherwise, I tended to keep, I don't know, I wouldn't say I kept to myself as much as I did smoked a lot of pot with, a bunch of friends.
Have you ever gotten tired of like 25 people in a gathering going,
"What's your major?"
Like, bro, non-stop, I swear to God. It's
oh
so
my
dumb.
gosh. Well, college, it's something that we all go through. I mean, not that we all go through, but it's something that there's a lot of tedium there, but I loved my time in college. I loved doing my music program. That was a lot of fun. Do you do music in college at all, or are you another major entirely?
No, I'm going into becoming a CSI, so I'm doing criminal justice.
Oh, okay, makes sense. You mean catnip? Oh, yeah, the catnip. Ah, I forgot my own lore. God damn it.
Oh, right.
That's cool though. I mean, I remember. I don't know. Yeah, the school that I went to, we had a kind of small music program, at least compared to like the other things on campus. I mean, obviously the theater department were the ones that ran the show in terms of like the whole arts buildings and all that. But yeah, the music kids, that was a really fun scene too. We had like how to say, I don't know. I learned a lot about how to, listen to other people, about how to like, I guess, go on the fly and improvise my own ideas from doing that sort of thing. Like, have you ever had that experience, like playing in a band with other people?
I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, not that. I mean, I don't know how to like explain it without like.
Right. I mean, obviously you're still young and learning, musical stuff and instruments and what have you. But, have you ever been in like an ensemble like that?
Yeah. So what I'll say is I did vocals for a band in my local town.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not gonna go into it any further because
No, that makes sense.
Actually,
it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I've had quite a storied history. I mean, like, obviously, like I said, I started all the way back in school doing stuff for, like, ensembles there. Then I got into high school bands and, well, not bands. I only had, like, one high school band, really. But then I went into college and did all the stuff there. And since leaving college, I've sort of, moved up to New York City and played in, like, local bands there. And that's been a lot of fun, gigging. I love being able to, go out and play to a crowd of people who, either chilling out there, drinking beers or what have you, or they expressly came to see you and like they're like your friends or close colleagues or family or whatever, hyping you up. That's always a really cool feeling.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a goal. I'd say for me, just like having my own little VTuber concert, having crowds, like, cheering and stuff. Like, I mean, I'm not that big into growing as a VTuber. I just do it for fun. But if I were ever given the chance, hell yeah, that'd be cool.
Would you ever like, I don't know, would you ever be in a band? It's odd to ask whenever I ask this question, because I mean, like, obviously VTuber bands, I don't know exactly how feasible that is latency wise, but I guess even if it were like IRL or whatever, would you like someday to like apply your current musical ability or like what you're learning in terms of like guitar or whatever in like a group context or anything like that?
I mean, yeah, for like a little fun thing, yeah, I would, like a little fun side project, because what I found is if I make like a hobby of mine into a job, it starts to lose what's the word? I start to lose interest in it,
That makes sense, yeah. No, there's the old adage, right, of like if you work, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. I kind of believe that, but also it's kind of like when you're doing something, like when you're trying to make something the driving force in your life that you're constantly trying to drive yourself on, I feel like that can kind of turn toxic to a certain extent, at a certain point, right? I don't know, it's it's a hard balance to strike.
I guess my mentality is I don't mind not doing a job I love, but I just don't want to be stuck doing a job I don't like.
That is totally understandable. Like I feel like I'm very fortunate, like nowadays, to I'm working something kind of tangentially related to what I went to college for, but at the same time, it's not the full thing, but it's satisfactory enough. It pays the bills, and I'm very fortunate to just have the flexibility to be me as a VTuber on the side.
Yeah, that's kind of like how. Yeah, I mean that's pretty healthy. I'm not gonna lie. Just like treating VTubing as a side hustle, but not even like a side hustle, just like a thing you do on the side for fun.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, in the scene, they love to focus on the numbers and the growth, and I do respect the VTubers who earnestly go for that, and are always grinding to like make shorts and clips, and have an active presence and make memes on like social media and all that. I really respect people who are able to find the time and energy for that. Me, I'm just fine doing my own thing on the side, and
Based. Yeah.
Like I respect I don't know. I feel like I sound pretentious whenever I say that the work I do, I feel like I need to put a lot more. I need to put the work and the extra detail into it that a weekly release schedule couldn't afford to me. Goddamn YouTube algorithms ruin everything for creatives.
I'm just saying, me and you both, bro. I got the same mentality you do, bro. I've been trying so hard to find people that have the same mentality like you, bro.
Hey, yeah, I mean, like, we're all gonna get where we want to go at some point, right? My goal right now is just to sort of maintain a community, to sort of have like a like-minded music community of people who love chatting music, love shooting the shit or anything like that. Just trying to be a chill cat boy who loves sharing his opinions on music history. Kind of a hard pivot, I guess, from that. Do you have any guilty pleasures in terms of music listens?
Actually, I'm kind of into hyperpop. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
hyperpop is low key, 100 gex, Geist. A couple of those people.
I want to get more into that stuff. I've heard good things about it, but at the same time, it's a lot of really wacky, crazy shit coming out of there that I don't know exactly how I'm going to react to it. When I hear it,
Yeah, I have 3 suggestions to ease your way into it. It's Glaive, Eric DOA, and then Halo. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, top 3 in my opinion. Oh, and Breakins too. Breakins. Love that guy.
If you could send me that list of names in the chat.
Oh, for sure.
Or through the Discord or whatever. That sounds awesome. I mean, I'm definitely familiar with the power pop genre, though I know I'm only really familiar with its most visible representatives. Like Charlie XCX has been fucking blowing up the world recently, obviously with Brat. But I feel like otherwise, it's hyperpop's already dead, right? People have already been proclaiming the death of hyperpop or whatever for a while now. I
got too oversaturated and industrialized. Yeah.
Huh?
I got too I don't know. It used to be very underground, but now that it's popping off, people are like, oh, we don't like this anymore because it's becoming popular. Bro, who cares, dog? It's music.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd be interested to see where, the musicians who pioneered hyperpop, now that it's kind of out of fashion, I'd be interested to see where they go now. Because, I mean, they were the avant-garde once. God knows they could probably do it again.
I'm over here trying to type this in chat.
Haylog is a name I see often because of Jack. Oh, interesting.
Oh, well, that's not what I wanted to type. I'm having trouble formatting this.
That's good.
Huh.
You can just send it to me on Discord.
Okay.
Enjoy the journey. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel feel like hyperpop to dive into it would be just like a fucking trip and a half.
Oh, it is quite the rabbit hole, I will say.
So the hard thing with me in terms of like musical guilty pleasures, right? I don't know like what exactly I could describe as a guilty pleasure, because the thing with me, I feel like a lot of music I'm able to just sort of take a step back, because I went to school for music, right? I love to sort of analyze, what people did in a song, like what they did right, what they didn't do right. So, I'm able to listen to most music without really too harsh judgment for its aesthetics or anything like that. So, I don't know, in terms of like things that I'd feel guilty listening to, there's not a whole lot, but I mean, I'm sure there's some artists by like a problematic person out there that I love bumping. So it's probably that. Like, God knows, fucking Aerosmith. Oh my God, Steven Tyler, the shit he's been put down for.
Oh God. Ronnie Radke from Falling in Reverse.
Oh God, no.
Oh, no.
Don't even mention that.
Bro, I'm just saying, that's crazy. It was wild finding out all the information. But another guilty pleasure that I would have is there's this like culture of like westernized Vocaloid, like Yummy and like Little Hard Drive. I'd be bumping that sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. I'd be bumping it.
I mean, hey, I have a lot of appreciation for that sort of technology. Just having like a voice synthesizer around, being able to, perfectly replicate, like, I guess, a melody with somebody's voice without having to record a voice. That's fascinating to me. Like, it's kind of
it's like really old. It's really old.
Yeah. It's kind of like top-down auto-tune, almost.
Yeah.
Gosh. I remember when people used to fucking shit on autotune back in the day. Like, oh my God, people hated it. But now it feels like it's just everywhere. And we're like, okay, yeah, it's gotten good enough where we don't have to shit on it too harshly anymore.
Oh, exactly. Like, now everyone's using it. Like, what happened? Why are you changing your tune, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a useful tool to punch things up when you don't want to, do a million vocal takes anymore.
I mean, yeah, it does save on takes a lot. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. And it's fun to see. Like, I don't know. Like that Nori person I've been telling you about. She does, music production streams time to time herself, and it's interesting seeing like how you're able to like go into a software and with like one of those auto-tune programs, like take a note that's been sung and sort of like smooth it out, literally.
And autotune really comes in clutch for backing vocals, because with backing, they kind of have to be the same as like the main for like one set of backing, right?
Oh yeah.
If you don't do it the exact same, there's a lot of dissonance and like just contrast that you don't want. So autotune really helps with that.
Yeah, no, it's hard to get like backing vocals sounding 100% on point. I remember having a bit of trouble, this time around. I did a bit of harmonies for my cover of Led Zeppelin's "Thank You," and it took me a bit of time to sort of really get that lined up together. But it's fun though. I like doing harmonies. I like harmonizing with myself even. Like, I don't know.
I've never gotten into that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if, like... I don't know necessarily if Dark Trap is the sort of music that has, like, bright, like, 3-part harmonies or anything like that, but... food for thought.
Yeah, I just listen to like two contrasting like genres. We have like the hyper pop like Halo and stuff like that. Then we have dark trap. Halo, he does a lot of like melody, a lot of harmonies and all of that. His vocal layering, top tier.
Do they also, I guess, incorporate a lot of rock influence too, or?
Oh, he just started doing that, yeah. With like,
Oh,
I don't know if you know what shoegaze is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like-
I love shoegaze.
Yeah, he started doing that.
Neat. God, how to say? I mean, if there's one shoegaze band that I really come back to, it's got to be Lush. I mean, I don't know how much you've heard of Lush before, but like that 90s sort of shoegaze scene that came out of the UK is really something quite cool. I mean, them, My Bloody Valentine, great bands.
I've never heard of him, but I will check him out here in a second.
Yeah. I mean, what was it? I remember back in the day, Lush had there was a song of theirs that was in Rock Band 2, and then, you know, I listened to that. I listened to, I think they had like a DLC pack, or at least one single put out for that I listened from there, and then like it's sort of snowballed from there, and I like sort of torrented a bunch of their albums back in the day.
Back in the day, you torrented. Wow.
Well, Fans of Spilt Milk by Jellyfish. I've heard of Jellyfish. I mean, I'm not familiar with the entirety of their discography, but I do know they've come up on a few like power pop playlists I've listened to in the past. So pretty cool bands.
Well, I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
What is the craziest music rabbit hole you've fallen into?
Oh God, that I have no idea. I could say like some sort of world genre for sure, but I have none that's coming to my mind right now. I mean, I get just off the top of my head. I mean, there's this one progressive rock band from France called Magma. They sing in a language called Kobayan, and they're basically trying to make like an alien sort of music. It's really weird.
No, not Alien Core. No way. No, it's crazy. No.
Yeah. I mean, I love me some great progressive rock music, especially 70s prog, but that is one band that I've never really given too fair a shot because I don't know, they're weird.
Have you been keeping up with the Olympics?
Oh yeah, no, I've been I've had some of the games on in the background. It's really cool seeing like, you know, athletes at the top of their game do some cool shit.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask for when they showcase France.
Oh yeah,
they brought out Gojira, which is like a pretty good band.
No, that
was insane.
That opening ceremony was incredible. I hope that LA is able to do something similar for 2028, but you know, God knows they're probably just gonna get Motley Crue and God, that they're gonna blow it.
Imagine if they bring out Avenged Sevenfold. Imagine.
That would be cool. I don't know. There's so many great like LA metal artists that have come. The last time we had the Olympics in LA, it was actually in the middle of like the sort of heavy metal boom that was happening in Los Angeles, like back in the 80s. Like glam metal was like huge back then. You had Rat, you had Dokken, Motley Crue, all those bands coming out of the Strip. And somehow, I don't know, I guess it was because, you know, America was going through more conservative sensibilities at the time. The only musical artist that showed up to perform there at the 84 Olympics was Lionel Richie singing All Night Long. Like, and I understand, right? Lionel Richie was fucking massive, but like, heavy metal... But LA was like heavy metal central. I hope they're able to really bring the thunder in 28.
I wonder. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I wonder where music is gonna be in general in 2020. like the way it's going, I really don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a really exciting time to follow what's happening in pop music, if I'm being honest. Because, like, not only do you have, like, your standard pop artists from years past, like, I guess Gaga and maybe Kendrick, like, making impacts on chart, or, like, other artists along that lines, but, like, all these new artists coming out that are, like, totally, pushing the envelope on like what their aesthetic is, on like what real bumping pop music in the 2020s sounds like. It's incredible. I mean, I don't know how passionate you feel about like the modern state of pop music, but at the very least, we live in a world nowadays where it's easier than ever to, find or release your own music.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, modern pop is just, I don't really listen to it that much, just because of the fact that they all sound the same, I guess,
Yeah.
in a way.
I mean, there is something to be said about the homogeneity of Billboard Top 40 pop. That's always been a thing, honestly. Going back even to, like, the 60s, the 70s. Part of the reason we don't remember, like, a lot of the bad hits of the 70s is because, we willingly toss them into the trash bin of our cultural memory. Nowadays, the only thing that gets peddled around is those, like, 3-disc sets that they sell on Lifetime or QVC or wherever, where it's like, the very best of the 70s or the 80s or the 90s.
Oh no, not the best of nah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing commercials like when I was 5 of them just selling it on TV commercials.
No,
Top
same.
hits
It was
of
like,
2000s.
oh my god,
like,
I used to, what was it? My when I saw TV back in the day, it used to be like, I don't know if it was like a love ballad compilation or like new age compilations. I think were like super big back then, but. You don't see people sell CDs on TV anymore. That's a damn shame.
Not even Kids Bob. No, I'm kidding.
Oh boy, I'm surprised that Kids Bop is still going strong. But then again, I guess if people want to tune into the hot pop hits in the day without exposing their kids to swear words, I guess that's the way to do it.
I mean, I guess I can't imagine how like I wasn't a Kids Bop kid, so I just don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, nor was I, right? Like that was just sort of the thing where it was like, good for those kids. I was never into it.
I just remember getting a Kids Bop CD when McDonald's did that for their Happy Meals when I was like 10 or so. I just remember that. I was trying to get Smash Mouth All Star, and I just never got that disc.
Oh, that's funny, man. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really into music as a kid. Like it took me until like I was exposed to rhythm games and like started singing in choirs and all that stuff before I really got deep into it. Like back in the day, it was more so like listening to video game OSTs or anything like that.
The OST for what's it called, Metal Gear Rising.
Oh my god.
I've been kind of obsessed with that, low-key.
Yeah, Metal Gear Rising goes hard. Like, all of the Metal Gear games have fantastic soundtracks, but just the stylization of that game is incredible.
like any of those like types of games from like early 2000s, the soundtrack going hard. I'm just saying. Like, damn.
Yeah. The 70s have the honor of containing what's believed to be the worst year. Oh yeah, like 1974 is historically considered to be a shitty year in music. Which is interesting because like there are a few banger albums from that year that, I do wish got more attention. Like Budgie's In for the Kill, King Crimson's Red. Really interesting albums from that year, but gets overshadowed by all the goddamn garbage that came out.
How do you feel about like the newer generations just not knowing what those songs are from like 1980s, 90s, etc.?
I mean, the good thing about apps like TikTok or YouTube or Instagram or anything like that is that we like revival of interest in like old artists is never that far away. All it needs is like one big viral push, really, and you've got like an entire generation of kids getting invested in the fucking Fleetwood Mac drama from Rumors, like it's I feel like there definitely is space among like the younger generation of kids, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and up. They could really appreciate rock music if it's presented to them in a way that really connects with their generation. I think rock, it's not so much dead as it is going through its own sort of growing pains now that it's no longer that mainstream of a genre. I mean, just speaking of rock in particular, but like there are a bunch of other genres now that are sort of falling by the wayside commercially, like hip hop or like even like older stuff, like going to. I think I made the point about jazz too in like a previous stream, but like now that like rock music is past history, it needs some like modern kick, or when genres become sort of academized.
Academized.
Something like that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like when they become overly studied, when they become like history that people recall in documentaries and all these, when you've got generations of stars, like I feel like that's the point where like genres really need to start proving themselves, the longer they stick around. Kate Bush is a good example of a modern revival. Oh yeah, totally. Like when they featured her on Stranger Things, like, oh my god, that the commercial effect of that was mind-boggling. Same with Metallica too. Like when they had a Master of Puppets in the last episode of season 4, that was massive.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing what they have in season 5, although it's taken them goddamn forever to put it out.
For real, those shows, like those types of shows, always take so long to make.
Yeah, fucking. And what's weird is that like Netflix and streaming giants, they dumped like all these millions and millions of dollars into like their cash cow streaming platforms, and then they cancel like all the smaller budget shit that people actually that shit that gets a buzz. and people wonder why all these streaming services are like growing financially insolvent.
I just can't imagine. It's just damn.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting the era that we live in now with like streaming becoming the default norm of how we consume media. I wish that we had more access to physical media, but I don't know. I feel like we're going to come to a point in the next few years where that does become like more of a demand.
Oh yeah, with like vinyls becoming like more and more like,
Absolutely, yeah.
Sought after. I'm like, I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I'm still very far away from, having the funds or whatever to create my own vinyl collection, but I would love to have like I love seeing like people's physical media collections, like seeing all these stacks of DVD cases and video game, cases and stuff like that. I don't know. I've always wanted to have my own game room, but the older I get and the more I have to manage my own resources, the more I realize that's not exactly something feasible for adult resi.
Like collector's editions are now coming with like digital downloads instead of just a disc. I'm like, damn.
Oh my god, yeah, that's
so wild. Oh, I had a situation like a week ago
Oh, yeah.
where I was asking a friend if they ever heard like of what's it called? Zombie
Oh,
by
yeah.
the Cranberries. They didn't know that version. They only knew the Bad Wolf version.
Oh,
So what do you
man.
feel about like situations like that? What do you feel about them?
I mean, it's interesting, like, when artists, modern artists cover, like, old songs and sort of make their own version of it, like, sort of make their own moment of it. Like, I'm not against, like, a really good cover being remembered, like, kind of above the original, but it kind of depends, right? I don't know. There was that one song by what was his face? Was it Luke Combs or whatever? He did Fast Car, which was that cover of fuck, what's her face? God, I'm gonna get chewed alive if I don't answer this. Fast Car. Tracy Chapman. Duh. Yeah, that. I remember they brought back like a modern country star brought back Tracy Chapman's song in Fast Car, and that was like a super big hit last year. It's, I don't know, like I admire when artists are able to, you know, do their own thing, but when they're able to take a song and make their own version of it instead of just sort of playing it straight, like I think, you know, that version of Fast Car did. Like, I think that's especially commendable when you sort of make your own thing of a cover rather than, you know, sort of play it straight, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, Tracy Chapman, of course. Yeah, it's hard. Like there's definitely like songs in the past that have been done. Like David Bowie like did a killer definitive cover of Let's Spend the Night Together by the Rolling Stones. Like, a lot of people argue that Johnny Cash's Hurt is a lot better than the version by Nine Inch Nails. I don't know. I kind of think that's like comparing apples to oranges, but like
I haven't heard about Nine Inch Nails in so long. I have not heard anything about them in so long. You don't understand.
They're a really fascinating band. I was watching a video the other day, actually, of like their early days, and it's really neat seeing how Trent Reznor sort of went from this keyboardist in the background of like 80s new wave or synth pop bands to becoming this full-on industrial guy. Industrial music is fascinating, though. Do you listen to a lot of industrial, you know, alongside, like, the dark trap or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not really good on, like, genres, so... I mean, one that comes to mind is maybe Motionless in White, like their old stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It was very industrial. Yeah.
That's fair. I'm not that familiar with industrial, I'd say, outside of, like, maybe Nine Inch Nails and Ministry. There is... My mom was, like, super into KMFDM. I don't know if she still listens to them a lot, but it's, like, such a heavy genre, man. In a second, that cover for Let's Spend the Night Together was from 1974. No, it wasn't, actually. It was from Pinups from 1973. No, not Pinups. No, wait. It was from Aladdin Sane. And then Pinups was also from 1973. I don't know how familiar you are with David Bowie, Blackjack, but I love Bowie quite a bit. It was one of my favorite artists in college, actually. Like, I got super into him, like, I want to say, like, sophomore year of college, and then, like, they announced, like, a new album was coming out in December of that, of my sophomore year, and I was like, ooh, that's cool, I wonder what it's gonna be like, and then it comes out, and it's, like, the most kick-ass album ever, and then he died 2 days later.
Oh.
It's the most fucking insane, like, sequence of events that could have happened of me, like, getting super into David Bowie just in that past year.
what a coincidence, dog. Like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of time to sort of, reflect on that and I guess recover or what have you, but in hindsight, Bowie really did go out in the way that he wanted to, and I've got to respect that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
On the topic of that, there's a lot of
go
like
ahead.
artists who just like die early in their careers. Like X, Juice WRLD, a lot of like people. It's crazy.
Yeah. Now it's always a tragedy to see young musicians bite it like that.
It's just wow.
Yeah. I'm just like,
it's like when they're like just starting to take off too. It's like when they just start getting success and they just gone. It's crazy.
It's the hard thing about. I mean, like some of them are obviously drug overdoses or anything. A lot of it is also just like street violence too. It's tragic, the sort of situations that you can stumble into when you're in that sort of line of genre.
That is so wild. I'm reading the chat. That is so wild.
Oh my gosh.
Like Wikipedia would be like, change it to past tense as soon as they die. That's crazy.
Oh wow, that's insane. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I've shared this in the past with chat, but when I found that, I remember the day when Michael Jackson died, because I was coming back from a cruise or whatever from Cozumel or whatever in Mexico. Not a cruise, but like I was coming back in a ferry from Cozumel, and I remember overhearing these two people on like on the ferry like arguing about like if it were true if he died or not, and it was interesting having that confirmed like minutes later after we landed and going back to the hotel. We saw it on Mexican news that Michael Jackson was fucking dead. Crazy.
It's a wild experience. Mexican news.
Yeah.
Nah, chill.
Man.
Nah.
It was an experience, but I don't quite remember the world like really coming together over the death of a musician that intensely in the years after that.
And then they started being divided about the stuff about him, and that was wild. That was God.
Yeah. What a loss. But I don't know. What else? I don't know. I guess we talked a bit about video game OSTs. Do you have any other like preferred OSTs that you're into, like other than Metal Gear Rising?
I would say no. This is just me being a film nerd, loving like cinematic tracks like that. The OST to like Batman Arkham City, low-key be hidden sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, I appreciate that. Those Arkham games really did go hard back in the day. I
remember just buying an Xbox 360. Well, my dad buying it when I was like maybe 7, and then just playing Batman Arkham City the night after. It was crazy.
See, the funny thing is, I remember getting Arkham Asylum and Arkham City for Christmas one year for my PS3, and I think I played both of them to some degree, but I never finished them. It's really bad. There's some like open world games that I've played that, I'll start and, I'll get a few missions into, but then I just drop it. It's tragic.
The Riddler trophies would drive me crazy when I was like young. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Losing Prince effed me up. Oh yeah, Prince 2. I guess like that was a really big loss.
Oh yeah, that one was wild, by the way.
Especially
that out was insane.
Especially for the people of Minnesota.
Oh. Minnesota.
Arkham games have very good OSTs. Pop soundtrack for a city was random, especially having Hugo Strange appear midway through Panic at the Disco song. Oh yeah. I guess that did happen, didn't it? fun though. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, the soundtrack to Mortal Kombat 9 was super dated because it had Skrillex on it.
Oh, that's funny. It's really weird seeing like Skrillex's whole aesthetic now because they're like super like clean shaven and he's got like this great like facial hair on. Whereas back in the day he was just like greasy and super long haired.
Right? Yeah.
That was a hell of a time though. Like when dubstep was becoming a big thing. I remember like my mom asking me about that shit and I was just like, oh no, why?
I was into it. I was really into it at that time. I was like,
Oh,
I was
yeah?
eating it up. Yeah.
I respect that. I mean, I've historically I've never been the biggest fan of electronic music. I can appreciate it for sure and its long history, but like dubstep, I definitely, I can respect like the love of the drop and all of that. I've never, what was it? I don't know. There's a lot about the culture of like electronic music that's never really, rang true for me.
No, yeah, that is true. Yeah, it can get pretty repetitive at times, like the same drum pattern every single song. I get, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not just like musically speaking, but just like it feels like a lot of events like surrounding electronic music or like raves or dances or all that stuff too. And I respect that and all that, but like I've always been more the person to like, sort of rage at a rock concert or otherwise stand around with like a beer in hand or like a joint or whatever and chill.
No, yeah, the rave culture is very wild. Yeah, I will say.
Yeah. Dubstep was so much fun. My brother called it wub wub music. You gotta love the wubs.
Yeah.
God. I do definitely respect when like you take electronic music and you fuse it into like rock. Like I don't know how familiar you are with Tame Impala, but like when they came around in 2015 with Currents, like oh my god, that shit was tight.
Have you ever heard of Starset?
Starset?
Yeah, the band.
I don't think so. No, I'll write them down.
Yeah, they're getting like really into like electronic mixing with like their genre of rock. Cool. It's crazy.
See, and I think that's, I mean, maybe not entirely, but I think that's partly where the future of rock music lies. Like, as more and more like people grow exposed to like all these different genres of the past, I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more synthesis in the future. Like, like a lot more rock guitars paired with pop synths, paired with trap beats, paired with, all this different mixture together to create like a unique sound of like the 2020s or 2030s even. Like God knows, like we're already like 4 years into this decade and I'm having to think ahead to how the future of the music, how the future of music's going to be like a decade from now. It's crazy.
Oh, I can't wait for people to incorporate synthwave.
Oh,
I can't wait for that.
That'd be fun. Give me a space rock revival. Oh, that'd be fun. Oh my gosh. Like, I feel like you could do a lot with like psychedelic rock and space rock and like maybe like trance and trance wave and all that stuff.
Black Hole Sun was wild to see the music video for at my age. I saw it at 12 and it was just weird.
Oh, Black Hole Sun. Oh my gosh.
I think that traumatized me when I was like 12. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah. Now those old-timey grunge videos from the 90s could be kind of insane, kind of traumatizing, low-key.
Yeah.
Whereas with the 80s, it was far more corny.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I've had to do a lot of like going back and revisiting like old MTV music videos for the Glam Deep Dive series that I'm planning right now. It's been fun just seeing how camp they could get back in the day.
I'm just gonna say nothing's gonna beat the music video for Bring Me to Life. Like that was amazing.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, back in the 2000s when people were just experimenting with all that early CGI, that was the peak. Like, what was it? The music video for fucking Linkin Park's In the End or whatever, where they're in like a PlayStation 2 background for most of it. That's wild.
Yep. PlayStation 2 background is wild.
Oh my god.
Nah.
I mean, that was the graphical fidelity of the time.
Oh my god.
You gotta love I mean, fuck, what was it also? There's another kind of similar video by the band's Pawns. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're another like sort of Australian psychedelic rock band. They did this video for their song Paint Me Silver, where it's very like, feels like very like early 2000s, mid 2000s video game sort of aesthetic.
I gotta search that up later. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I have like a notepad of like every suggestion. Just like typing them up.
Cool. Yeah, I like writing, you know, all the stuff that we talk about on these streams down too. Like, I used to have, like a receipt from a Subway that I'd write things down on, but now, you know, I sort of have all of these papers that I write my questions down. I try to use that too as like a sort of notepad. Ooh, Hawkwind. Cool space rock albums. The debut 30 Seconds to Mars. Interesting. I didn't know Bob Ezrin worked on their first album. Hawkwinds. How familiar are you with Bob Ezrin?
Oh, not that much, but 30 Seconds to Mars, seeing Jared Leto now is wild.
Oh, yeah.
By the way. Like, that's insane.
Fucking Jared Leto, the cult leader himself.
That's what it looks like, yeah. That's like the most accurate representation.
Yeah, it's just like... I don't know when, like, he flipped that switch, but at a certain point in his Hollywood career, like, maybe after The Joker or whatever, he just never looked normal in public again.
Not the Joker, not the joke.
Man. Like, what was...
No way.
Like, fucking Morbius. Oh my god. That is probably going to be my default whenever I think of Jared Leto in a movie from now on.
I keep on forgetting that movie exists. I keep on forgetting.
It's okay. I feel like most people do.
It's just like, huh. So that's Jared Leto now. Interesting. It's Morbin time.
At least 30 Seconds to Mars made some decent music back in the day. Like, I think, what was it, The Kill? That was a decent song when it was in Rock Band.
I love the music video for it because of The Shining. I love it.
And when is Oscar IMO? Oh, when did he win an Oscar? Jared Leto?
His music and acting went downhill after that.
I forget. Academy. Oh, Dallas Buyers Club. That's what it was. Okay. I've never seen that movie, actually. Well...
Oh yeah, what do you think about the Taylor Swift fandom?
Oh, fucking Swifties. I mean, I've never been a fan of stan culture in general. Just like the overzealousness of with which people like K-pop fans or Barbs or Swifties will attack somebody for not being like 100% on board with their music or not having like 100% of their facts straight. Like, that's wild to me. I could never do that. I could never see myself, you know, being deprived of so much empathy to do stuff like that. But I don't have anything against the artists themselves, I would say. I've never given Taylor Swift that honest of a listen. Like I've heard a few of her songs, obviously on the radio over the years, but like I've never like done a deep discog dive in the words of Mike the Snare on Taylor Swift's entire discography. So
yeah, I stopped listening after like 2015.
oh yeah,
yeah, pretty much it cut off.
Makes sense. I mean, that was the era where she first nosedived considerably, but she managed to save it.
Yeah. Oh, and Katy Perry too. Like that's
oh my
awesome.
God, that's a nosedive that she didn't recover from. I've heard a lot of funny opinions about her newest single. Yeah, I don't know though. I feel like there are definitely a lot of pop stars that are still trying to cling to relevance that they once had in the 2000s and 2010s, but it's just a new landscape now. Like a lot of new artists, new types of artists, like with new types of sounds, like going out there and revolutionizing music where, the club boom stuff that resonated from the 2000s, the early 2010s, no longer really has that much of a place.
Yeah, like I haven't found any songs that have the same vibe as like the ones in like early 2000s clubs. I've never found one.
Mm-hmm.
Like after like 2015, post 2015.
Totally. I mean, I might be talking out of my ass here. There is definitely some of that maybe in New York drill, but then again, I've always been more of the rock guy when it comes to that sort of thing. I don't know that much about the drill scene or what have you.
Yeah.
Don't know much about local music in general, but I'm just doing my own thing and hoping to connect with other bands along the way.
Oh. Yeah, because
like
I've always wanted to be in a band. I'm not gonna lie, I've always wanted to. I just never got to it because I don't meet that many people.
Yeah, I mean, if college is a decent place to start. I mean, if you can find anybody in like your music program, maybe you can do something with that. But I don't know. It's being in a band, especially nowadays, feels very. Feels like there's a lot of things working against you almost. Like
oh wait, I lied, never mind. I have met people. I'm actually friends with like vocalists from 2 bands that are like doing really well.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, one is Dark Divine, the other one is Not Enough Space. They're pretty new, but they're doing really good.
Nice. Yeah, I just how to say, nowadays, now that there's a lot less third spaces being like kept open, like bars and other sorts of venues. It's harder for people to really find places to book even like places that they can affordably manage to play. Like I don't know, there have been times where I've been in a band and we've had to sell a specific cutoff number of tickets or else we wouldn't get paid, or maybe even wouldn't play the show, which in that case we'd have to, foot some of the bill ourselves.
Just set up the concert in the back. Like
yeah.
I remember a band I went to see did that once because they went over their time. So they just set up in, like behind the venue.
Man, that'd be lit, but good. I don't know. I would love to. I'd love to play more like DIY stuff, like DIY house shows or anything. Like, have you ever been to any place like that? I don't know if like any of the frats at your college like do anything like that, but like, it's cool whenever you have like a house show like that in like someone's basement with like very tightly packed crowd and loud music. It's
no, in my hometown there's like this like abandoned house that everyone like thinks is haunted.
Oh.
And I would like every other weekend I would go over there and there's just a band playing in there. I'm like, oh shoot, okay.
Oh my god, that sounds lit.
And I would always find a way to get in there for free. I don't know how I did it, I just would.
That sounds incredible. Like a house show in an abandoned haunted mansion sounds like it would be like well, prime horror movie material for one, but also like super fucking lit.
Oh yeah, it was like grunge concerts and shit. I'm like, okay, bet. Let's get it.
Nice. Yeah, I really do dig. I dig grunge myself. Actually, one of the bands that I play in now is very kind of grungy, like early metalish kind of sound. So I can dig.
Have you ever learned how to metal stream?
Oh, yeah, you were mentioning that about a bit before. Like, how how much progress have you made?
I would say I'm pretty good, I guess. I mean, I'm really good at hitting highs. My lows are a little lacking, ironically.
Okay. Makes sense.
It's just because of the technique I use.
Yeah.
But what about you?
I don't know. I could probably be guttural if I tried, but like I don't know. I don't quite have the technique for it. You know, I never really learned in a high school choir or any of my vocal lessons in college how to really activate that. But so
They don't really teach you that. I mean, my technique is like a modified version of like a vocal fry.
Oh yeah.
That's how I learned.
Right.
But there's people who are like, use your false chords. I'm like, dog, no, don't do that, please.
Yeah. I was in a band for a brief period of time. The toughest part was starting on the same page with what we wanted to make. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, just coordinating all the different perspectives and schedules with, like, all the people that you're going to have in your band. That's been a very hard challenge. Like, especially if you're a working adult, too, and, like, you've got jobs and all that stuff. It's a chore to, like, schedule the time to, like, practice together or like find gigs and all that.
Oh, it's the same thing for VTubing collabs. I feel the same way. Yeah.
Except with VTubing, at least, that's a bit more convenient since it all happens digitally. Like, I don't know, the biggest inconvenience with setting up a collab in VTubing is more so time zones, if anything.
Yeah. I remember I collabed with someone who was like in Europe.
Oh yeah.
And I had to wake up at 10 in the morning for the collab when it was like, I don't know, afternoon for them. I was like, damn.
Hey. I think I'm going to get one more cup of water, and then we can sort of wrap things up here. I mean, I don't really have any questions myself, but if you've got anything else you want to discuss, I'd be more than happy to do so after I'm hydrated again.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
All right. I will, where the fuck is me? I will BRB.
No, for... Oh. Interesting. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for listening to us yap about music. keep it going. Let's see.
And I am back.
Yeah. I only had like 2 questions prepared to ask.
It's all good. What do you want to talk about?
So, like, how much experience do you have in mixing and mastering?
It's very, very limited experience. If anything, I would say I brute force the whole process more than, actually try to, like, learn fruitfully. Like, I have, in the past, you can go on my channel, and I've got a few different, vocal covers and drum covers from the past, and they're serviceable enough, but, like, really all I do is I take, like, the, like, God bless Rock Band and Guitar Hero, because there's all these different, like, instrumental variations and stems that I can download, like, right from YouTube and put into Audacity. And then I just sort of mix my drums and vocals over that, or try to, at least. there's all these different filters that I try to put to my vocal effects to try to make them sound somewhat lively, but I don't know if I ever quite succeed with it.
I see. And that leads to my next question. When you're making those covers, what is the hardest part for you?
Huh. Probably probably just like the attenuating of everything. I'm not necessarily the most patient person in the world. I guess it kind of comes with being a lazy cat boy, but I just like whenever I mix something, I usually try to follow the path of least resistance. I try to be as ironically, I feel that I put a lot more focus and energy in making sure that I get my videos right and making sure like the edits and all that come through there than I do for my own music. Like, I don't know what it is, but like psychologically speaking, I just find it harder to like continually listen over and over again to something with like multiple different filters applied to see like how it comes out, right? Like it's just a lot of tedium that I don't think I'm cut out for. So I just, I do the best I can. I put up the covers, I try to be more optimistic that I showcase my my instrumental talents more so than I do my production talents, and I just I leave it there.
Yeah, because like, how well do you know music theory?
I took like a few classes of it in college. I was in theory 1 through 3, and then I took jazz theory because I was a music major and I needed to do that as part of the requirements. But it's been ages. I've barely freshened up my understanding of theory of like voice leading and all that stuff since then. So like I kind of brute force like melodic and harmonic structure too sometimes whenever I write songs. I'm more of a rhythmic and like riff-based writer, if anything.
Right.
Work at a radio station, so part of my job is just yapping about music, and that's always nice to just hear it. Oh yeah, no, this... See, the thing with me, I've always been better about voicing my opinions about music than making music myself. That's not to say I can't do it. It's just like inspiration is a very hard and fickle thing, It's like it comes and goes, and motivation is also very, very hard to deal with. Or lack of motivation.
Writer's block is horrible.
Yeah, writer's block, exactly. Like, I could if I wanted to. I have an iPad with GarageBand. That's what I did. That's what I've used in the past to demo things before. It's just, I don't know. I have a bunch of wild ideas, and the thing with GarageBand is that I don't know how how well its time signature tracking or whatever that's built in can accommodate it.
Right.
It's a lot though, it's definitely a lot to I don't know, to sit down and face like a DAW and start making something from scratch. I mean, the feeling, certainly. It's like, I don't know. the pressure of living up to your own expectations that you've set for yourself.
No, yeah, for real. I always try to one up myself. Like every time I create like a beat or like create an instrumental or anything, I always try to one up myself or learn a new trick every time.
And honestly, I kind of have a similar mentality with how I edit my videos too. Like whenever I make a new video, I usually try to do something that's visually cutting edge or narratively cutting edge, or just something to innovate on what I've done before. I'm always trying to improve. It's just, I don't know. Somehow I'm able to apply that mentality to video and not like audio somehow.
Yeah. Because that's how I discovered how to do my vocal style in a way to make it work. What
Hey.
I do is I do 2 takes, one for a main take, and then the second I'll duplicate it, right?
Oh yeah.
Hand it left and right,
Mm.
and then move the right channel ever so slightly off time,
Oh yeah.
to where you can like instead of them merging, they sound like 2 different voices.
Mm. That's
And it
neat.
really just it adds texture to it. It makes it amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Double track vocals is super cool. Man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then. I think we are at 2 hours here. I think we can wind down here to our end. But-
Oh yeah, for sure.
But thank you so much for the conversation. You know, I always appreciate getting to reach out and meet new VTubers through this show. So, you know, getting to speak with a, you know, experienced producer and musician like yourself, it's always a pleasure.
Oh, for sure. Anytime. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, and where can people find you? You've got a Twitch and YouTube, right?
Oh yeah. So on YouTube, vt.black_jack. Instead of A's, it's X's.
Mm.
And then Twitch is gonna be black_jack21. Again,
Mhm.
X's instead of A's.
Okay.
And then if you go in the about section, you'll find like a link tree to find everything else. Basically.
Excellent.
The reason why I
Alright.
say that is because I forgot the names I put for the other ones. Not gonna lie.
Right. That's fair. That's fair. Well, I was going to raid into somebody else, but it doesn't look like there's any like friends or indies or whatever that's online that I could do that with. So I think I might just leave things off here. But
Wait a minute, you can raid on YouTube?
yeah, actually, there's I think they added it a few months back or some time ago. It's been here for a bit, but unfortunately, I've not got any close friends who are online to really make a noticeable impact. So I think we'll just leave things off here. And yeah, thank you so much once again to Blackjack for coming on my stream. And thank y'all in chat for participating and, you know, chatting it up and always, you know, as always, talking our music tastes, shooting the breeze. And yeah, look forward next week. I've got another guest lined up. I won't announce them just yet, but do know that I've already got it planned. And yeah, look forward to more music talk content in the future and more news, hopefully soon, about the glam metal deep dives. But until then, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Good night.